Is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another installment of the JJ Sports Talk Show. Of course, I feel like a robot every time I say this, but I am Big J, host of the JJ Sports Talk Show. I got my boys. I got the three musketeers, Big Mazz and Big Ant. What's going on, fellas?
What up, Big J? I didn't know we were hopping right in. That just kind of
Oh
threw me off, but
shit!
let's get it.
What's up, Big
Hey,
J?
man.
Sorry I wasn't here last week.
Nah,
Got
that's
the
all
mic
good, man.
finally. We're good.
Can we
Set
please
up.
give a round of applause for Anthony for finally getting the mic, so this way we won't have to rely on the roommate right here. Hey, that's what we like to see.
Hey,
Dedication.
I dropped $140 on this piece, so get
I
ready.
told you to use Amazon.
I invested. We're investing here.
Told you to use Amazon. $99.
Call
I
me
know
Jordan
you.
Belfort. I'm investing. Jordan Belfort.
That's the. Hey, listen, that's all we can ask for. You
Shit.
know, you got a quality mic right there. You did good, kid, and we just keep it moving.
Thanks,
So we
man.
need that one more
I feel so
person, Matt,
proud.
man. Now it's your
Matt
turn to get
said
his
he'll
mic.
be ready by Wednesday. Then we'll have the true panel for the JJL Sports Talk Show. You already know what it is, but baby steps. We gotta improve.
Good.
You got to walk before you can run.
Absolutely.
Hey, there
We
you
got the
go. There
third.
you go.
We got our third partner in crime back. So
Yes,
we
we got
make the
the
best of it.
yes, sir, yes, sir. All right, wait. So we want to dive in first, Brandon. What do you like? So which one to talk about first, man? It's, I feel like it's the same stuff, like with Kyrie.
Dude, you know what? I kind of wanna jump to football. I just saw Russell
Yeah.
Wilson's out for like a month
Yeah.
with a finger injury that's going to require surgery. I think Seattle's kind of screwed now because the offense was the only thing that was keeping them on the field, really. Russell Wilson's play was the only thing that was really driving that team. So I don't know, man. I honestly, do you even know who their backup is?
It's Geno Smith, man. West
Oh, Geno
Virginia
Smith.
legend.
Is
New
it?
York Jets legend. Yeah, you didn't see the game last night?
Nah, dude. I honestly missed it. To be honest with you, I
Yeah,
don't
Geno
even
came
know.
out. He actually didn't do that bad, man. He
He threw a
came in. He
touchdown
was kind
pass
of
to
lights out.
Metcalf.
He was throwing lights out. Rams defense did not have an answer for him, which is kind of crazy to say. Like
For
Geno
Geno
Smith,
Smith, they
yeah,
didn't have
Geno
an answer
Smith,
for Geno Smith.
he's throwing actual completions.
Let me check
But
this out.
I mean, if he
Geno
plays with the way,
Smith.
yeah,
Okay, not
Is
bad. He
he
went
what?
10 for 17, touchdown and an
that's what I'm
interception. I
saying.
mean,
Like well, the interception was towards the end of the game. And it was a good play by the corner. But
mhm.
I gotta say, I mean, if he throws the way he was, I mean, I don't think the Seahawks can miss a beat. I mean, you got Chris Carson coming back. He was hurt yesterday, but
You trust Geno Smith?
not that much. But we'll have to see.
Not a
He's
chance. Not a chance. We're talking about a guy. I don't know another quarterback that can get decked by their own players in a locker room. And Geno Smith made that happen when he was on the Jets. Caught a concussion for it. Like, come on, man. How much of a headache do you gotta be to get smacked by your own player when you're the starting quarterback? Are you kidding me? We're not talking about
yeah.
in practice. We're not talking about practice, Allen
That
Iverson. We
that
ain't
was a
talking about
crazy
practice.
saga.
We're talking about locker room. Homeboy gets decked by his own boy. You know, come on, bro.
I mean,
Give me a
he's a more
break.
mature guy now. He's got a few more years under his belt. He sat behind Russell, who's probably one of the most professional quarterbacks in the game today. That guy carries himself with humility and grace that most quarterbacks in the NFL don't do today. I mean, but yeah, back to your point. I mean, Geno's got the arm talent. You saw it at West Virginia. In New York, he never put the pieces together.
Does he
And I
got the
think
mental? That's the question.
I don't know. I mean, you got a good like ensemble around him: Lockett, Carson, Metcalf,
Yeah.
Disley. It's not a terrible ensemble. The offensive line is, of course, not great because the Seahawks never really have a great O line. But I mean, you got the pieces around him. I mean, if you can devise a good scheme, I think he could be a solid option as a backup before Russell comes back.
Yeah, I saw that Don. Where I think the play after he got injured, I saw that Don to Metcalf for the TD. That a nice bomb.
Dude, Metcalf is an animal, dude. That guy, it's like, how do you not look at that guy and just be like, is that even a human? Like, the guy is
I
so just chiseled. Like,
And
it's
fast.
insane. Like, you know,
Like
just
a
like in
cheetah.
terms of like physical like specimen. If he could put it all together, I don't know how you stop that guy because the physical build is 110 out of 100 right there.
yeah, I think he's just a little too overrated for me. I mean, it's just because the NFL always just pushes him down our throats, like on the Instagram pages, and All I see are just DK highlights. His career highlights a tackle pretty much when he chased down Buda Baker. But like,
I mean, that was just
like you
cool.
said, the measurables are there. I mean, he just got to fix that drop situation. And he like top 5 in drops last year.
Yeah,
He
dude, he's
drops a
been up
lot of
there.
footballs. Yeah, like
You know.
he's got to like really focus on not dropping the ball. He's got the speed. He's got the strength, the physical power. He had a really great juke last night. I forgot who it was, but it was the guy went flying.
Bro,
He's got the agility.
You just said like the chase down on Buda Baker. How many players in the NFL can make that play?
Yes.
That is an insane play right there. Like that is physical specimen at the absolute highest quality. So I don't know.
Yeah, that man's fast. So I want to talk about. So my team played the Broncos, right? And Teddy went down with a concussion, but toward the end of the game, there were some arguments saying how the coach on on the Broncos side was like, with 4 seconds left on the clock, Lamar or John Harbaugh wanted to get that record for Lamar. So I'm gonna start with you, Brandon. Like, what do you think about like should the Ravens like? Because usually in a game you're supposed to kneel down in the game. So, but they wanted that record for Lamar because like I think he had like what 100 rushing yards and 300 passing yards or whatever or something like that. So how do you feel? Do you think that's like disrespectful or like do you think that's like do you think it's poor sportsmanship?
I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Like, I think Vic Fangio was kind of right in the situation. You know, I don't know, man. Like, it was out of reach. Like, that game was over. That's garbage time. Like, dude, nobody ever goes back and goes, "Oh, look who got the rushing record against the Broncos." Like, who gives a damn? So I know you guys probably aren't gonna like that. You guys are Ravens fans, I get it. But like, listen, to me, it's not the end of the world. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, "Oh my god, that is Bush League. How dare you do that?" Blah, 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 blah. But to me, it's just like it's pointless. You chose to disrespect him. Who gives a damn? Let's move on. It's not that big of a deal. But yeah, I wasn't like a fan of it. But then again, that whole he's got the rushing record against the Broncos. That doesn't mean anything to me. When you got the rushing record in the league, then talk to me. And then if he was going for the league record, yeah, by any means necessary, do what you need to do. But who cares? Go ahead, Ed.
Don't even get me started with Vic Baby Fangio. What a crybaby. He was more concerned that we ran 5 yards on the last play of the game than that he just got blown out 23-7. If you don't want him to run for 5 yards, then devise a defense to stop him. And by the way, the record was most consecutive games with 100-yard rushing in NFL history. It's a team record. It's not a Lamar record. It's a team record. That's why I say that maybe it's delivered. And the record right now it's tied with the Ravens with the Steelers, who are the Ravens' arch rivals. I mean, it was the 77 Steelers. It was with Franco Harris. But like when you have a record that's held by your arch rival, you're going to want to beat that thing, man. And I get it, 3 seconds, it caused injury, but like you look at that play, the Broncos weren't really even going after Lamar. Lamar was untouched. He ran for 5 yards and slid down. It's not like he was decked or he went and trucked a Broncos player. I mean, nothing really happened.
Yeah, like, dude, that's the thing though. Like, I watched that, like, him give like his press conference. I still didn't even know what the hell the record was. So to me, like, I get what you're saying, but like, I don't care about that. I don't think teams should actually like really care that much. Like, congratulations. Like, if Lamar cared that much, but I'm gonna be honest, if somebody would have took a shot on Lamar, like, you gotta kind of expect that. Like, it was cool that the Broncos were like, let him have it. But if he takes a shot in that, like, you're kind of asking for it. So.
Yeah, there's some people that are saying like, it was good for him to get that record, but like then again, he could have got hurt, because like when Lamar runs, like I'm not gonna lie, as a true fan, like sometimes like there are some ends where he could get hurt, you know what I'm saying? Like, but I feel like he's worked out in the gym, built his legs strong enough. But then again, anything can happen. You saw like Dobbins go down, and that's in the preseason. But I mean Lamar, like. I ain't worried right now, but like I feel like it can go both ways. I feel like it's disrespectful on the Broncos side, but I feel like as a Ravens fan, it's not because, like, I mean, we're blowing them out. I mean, what if Lamar and the Ravens what they're getting blown out in the Broncos and they still went for the record? You know what I'm saying? Like, talk your crap and win the game, or let Lamar get the record and shut the hell up. You know what I'm saying? But in a perfect world, they're supposed to kneel down and take for the game. But
I mean, Jay, if it was against the Ravens and if it was against the Ravens, like, just how would you guys be feeling about that? Honestly,
like, if
you'd probably be sitting here saying like that don't matter. That was Bush League. Like, get out of here.
Probably it is. I do say that might be a little bit of my bias showing, but
yeah.
Like when I watch baseball and I see, like, say Aaron Judge hits a home run and he just flips the bat, I'm gonna be like, oh, that was sick. But, like, say if Vladimir Guerrero Jr. does it to the Yankees, I'm gonna be, oh, that's Bush League. That sucks. It's all dependent on my bias. Yes, I get it, but
for sure, and it depends on, like, the situation, like, too, as like we said, like, if we're talking about, like, your team, obviously gonna be like, it wasn't that big of a deal. That's cool that, like, we got that. But, like, for me, like, I could give two damns. I like Lamar. Don't get me wrong. I like watching Lamar play. I'm not a big Ravens guy. I loved Ray Lewis back in the day, and the Broncos. Von Miller is fun to watch, but outside of that, like, I have no stock in this race. So therefore, for me, it's like, congratulations. Like, if that was probably against me, I'd be like, oh, these guys are Bush League, screw them, and the whole 9 yards. But I don't know, man. It's But hey, moving forward, fellas. Urban Meyer and the headlines for the wrong reasons. Oof. And
not what the Jaguars need. Yeah, not what the Jaguars need. They're 0-4. They've lost. I think it is currently 19 straight since week 2 of last year. Yeah. You got a rookie quarterback who's struggling. You got a defense who's just been awful outside of, like, Miles Jack and Josh Allen. You got a decent running attack. It's just the team altogether is just not where you want it to be. But then you throw in that distraction, and I guess that it's just terrible situation. Terrible. Like, why aren't you traveling back with the team after the loss? I get you're back in Ohio, but it's just a terrible decision. You would think a guy who's been around this long, who's coached in college, he's finally gotten a shot in the big time. That's just a terrible way to do things.
Yeah, man. Not to mention they lost their number one wide receiver at DJ Chark. I was watching that whole game. I still don't even remember Chark going down, to be honest with you. It was a solid game. I loved everything that I saw from Trevor Lawrence. I question the coaching calls, like, in that play, and I'm a big Urban Meyer fan, but now it's like, my man ain't making the best decisions off the field. I think the whole thing got blown out of proportion completely. His wife seems pretty cool. They're stable in their marriage, so that, to me, that's more of like a home problem. Some people were calling for Urban Meyer to be sacked, released, get as far away from as possible. And I don't know, man. I mean, listen, it's 4 games. You're not working with much. You got the best quarterback talent that we've seen in a long time. I can't remember anybody that had this much hype. Like, this kid has more hype than Andrew Luck, for crying out loud. We all know how much hype was around him. And I think you just got to go through the growing pains. I think Khan made a solid point, the owner of the Jags, Shad Khan, that he lost our trust, and quite frankly, he needs to gain it back. And I can't blame him for that. Like, he kind of made the team look a little stupid. They're looking a little weak with him doing his extracurricular, like, activities, and then him going off to blow some steam, and then ending up in that awkward situation, which he really didn't even do that much. But still, the whole thing is just a little weird. So I don't know, Big J, what do you think? Is it worth firing him over it, or not a big deal?
I mean, first of all, I didn't see the video, so I don't. But I've seen it, like, a little snips of it, but I don't know, man. It's just like, wasn't when he was a coach at Ohio State, wasn't like a similar situation came up, kind of?
He had the problem in Ohio State where I believe Gentleman
involving
on
his
his
wife
coach.
again, right?
No. Gentleman on his coaching staff was having
Oh,
some marital problems. I believe he was abusing his wife, and supposedly Urban knew about it and never said anything. And then the whole situation was just awful. And then they ended up dealing with, they ended up getting rid of him. But the fact of the matter is, if you go and look at his winning percentages from Ohio State and Florida, like, they speak for themselves. But this is, my man's not making the best decisions off the field at times. So you, as an organization, need to decide what's worth it to you. And quite frankly, he has no credibility in the NFL right now. He's 0-4. He's got the best quarterback talent, new head coach, any coach could really ask for it when starting a rebuild. So I think you need to give him some time. But if this starts being a common theme, it might be time to think, is this the best person we want to go with moving forward? But I'm a fan of his. It's not he wasn't beating the woman. I don't know what that full situation was. If he knew about it, he definitely should have done something more about it. So I can't blame Ohio State on this. But Jacksonville said this is our guy moving forward, and I don't think this instance by itself is worth firing him over. But moving forward, he definitely needs to get stuff together.
I definitely agree. I mean, like, to answer your question, just to conclude, I just like just like piggyback off what you said. Just like, I mean, every person makes mistakes. I mean, obviously he went to a dinner with his family, and then come to find out a young girl. I don't know how old she was, but apparently, the video surfaced, things came up. But I feel like the only way he can make this up is if they start winning games, man. Just like you said, like, they're 0-4, right? I feel like if, I mean, I don't know what their schedule looks like for the rest of the season, but like, if they start piling on some wins, maybe like that's the way that Urban Meyer can like make up for his mistakes. But like, I like what Stephen A. Smith said today. He was like, how like we all are human, we make mistakes. Whatever he did, that's between him and his family. It shouldn't be like blasted to the media, like that. That's a personal, like, family internal. So I mean, I feel like like you said, he's a winning coach in the college career. So I mean, I feel like he can recover, but it's gonna take some time, obviously. But like I said, winning is important. Like, they're 0-4, like, they're not really like. I feel like if they keep on losing, it's gonna keep them piling up. Like, so, but imagine like that, like, come Sunday, like, that locker room is gonna be weird, man. Because like you said, you have a star quarterback in Trevor Lawrence. Like, as a rookie quarterback, you're supposed to look up to your head coach as an admirer. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, I don't know. It's just kind of a rocky situation right now. But like the owner said, like, he has to prove to me that he can stay. So I feel like by that they should start winning some games. And
All right, so moving on, I got a story here. So Trey Lance, the last of the rookie quarterbacks to get their first start this Sunday. I think who they playing? They're playing the Cardinals, which is the only undefeated team left in football. I think Trey Lance, he's got that chance to be a superstar talent, but very raw, sort of like a Mahomes type. You didn't know what you were going to get at Mahomes. You had a really high ceiling and a really low floor, and thankfully Mahomes got the really high ceiling. So what are we expecting at Trey Lance this Sunday, guys?
Well, first off, talk about throwing a guy to the wolves, huh? First career start, and you're going against the only undefeated team left, not to mention J.J. Watt, who we haven't been talking about that much because of the injuries. For sure. So he's got two dogs on the other side that's going to be hunting him down the entire game, trying to get in his head. As we saw the Chargers get after the Raiders. Derek Carr's been in this league a while. It's not hard to shake quarterbacks, man, especially rookie quarterbacks. So if he can weather the storm from that pass rush, hopefully good things could happen for him. Like I said, I actually think Justin Fields should actually be the in this situation for the 49ers. I didn't like the pick at Trey Lance. I'm not big on going with guys from D1 AA. I just think that I'm going to take the guy who went to the bigger school, played bigger competition, made bigger plays at times. But Trey Lance has shown, glimpses of, as you said, high ceiling It's kind of like a high risk, high reward, really low risk. I just didn't like where he was drafted too much, man. But if he can weather the storm, I think the kid's going to be just fine. But quite frankly, I don't know how his career is going to pan out. I like Zach Wilson better, as I'm sure most people do. I like Trevor Lawrence a lot better, as most people do. I'm big on Justin Fields if they can just get him some help over there. But Trey Lance, I think Trey Lance might be better than Mac Jones, depending on how the situation up in New England works. I think Trey Lance is a better talent. I just think Mac Jones is set up better to succeed, dealing with that. So it could go either way, but I don't know, man.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree with y'all. Like, but going up against just like Justin Fields' first start, he played against Myles Garrett, but it sucks that these quarterbacks have to go up against tough, talented defenses. But hey, if you want to be a star quarterback in the league, you have to prove yourself against the best. And like Anthony said, star rookie quarterback, high ceiling, just like Mahomes when he was coming to the league. High expectations, a Super Bowl talented winning team. They want to win a chip. And I guess the perfect way to let him start is with the injury, because Garoppolo went down and it's the next man up. So I mean, you're like, we'll see. They'll be the Cardinals, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I know somebody on the Cardinals said we know Trey Lance's game plan. There's a statement. The dude said, I think he was like, "Oh,
DC's always try to think that they know the game plan. Like look at the Ravens every week. It's we know Lamar's game plan.
right.
Just good luck stopping it. You can know the game plan all you want, but I think that's just mental tactics, just to get them rattled a little bit. And let's be honest, the 49ers really just need a quarterback. Garoppolo's not a bad guy. He's just kind of plays it safe. He's not really going to go out there. For sure. But when we've seen him at his top, he got him to a Super Bowl. And I shouldn't say he got him, but he was a part of that team that, if they possibly have any, another guy in that situation, it's a little more exciting Super Bowl. Maybe they pull off the dub, instead of just getting steamrolled by KC the way that they did. But I don't know. Maybe Trey Lance is the guy. You got to take a shot on it. I think at this point, you kind of have to throw him to the wolves, and it is what it is. As you said, Big J, this is going to be a big test. We got two solid pass rushers that are going to be in his face all day, I'm sure, getting that pressure up there, and we're dealing with a 4-0 team. This team does everything very well, so we'll see. Are they necessarily the best at everything? I don't think so, but they're doing something right because they're 4-0, man. So good luck with it, and what a way to start the career off.
Yeah.
So Sunday we had both Giants teams winning. Personally, I thought that the Jets lost because the last play I saw was he threw a pick. I keep on forgetting his name, and the quarterback of the Jets.
Zach Wilson.
I keep on forgetting his name, man. Zach Wilson. The last play I saw, he threw a pick, but they came back. Giants, they beat the Saints in overtime, right? Overtime.
Giants beat the Saints. Yeah, Jets beat the Titans.
Yeah. So, how y'all feel about so compared to both teams, both known as as subpar teams. So, which team do you think that has the better supporting cast to get to that next level? So you got Damian Jones and Barkley, and then you got Zach Wilson, and I don't know the running back, like Corey Davis. So what do you think? What New York team can make that leap?
Out of the teams, both of those teams, I think the team that's most destined to make a leap up, I think, are the Giants. I mean, Daniel Jones has really looked good, man. I mean, these last few starts, I was down in the beginning of the year. I don't know. He's sort of like that Eli sort of mold. He's the pocket passer. I mean, he's got speed, but I didn't think he was going to be much. I thought this was maybe his last year in New York, and then the Giants would look someplace else. But, man, he's looked nice. You got the weapons there. You got Slayton. You got Shepard. You got Ingram. You got Saquon in the backfield. I mean, and the offensive line is meh. It could use a little bit of work, but the defense, you got Bradbury, Leonard Williams, Martinez is still there, I'm pretty sure. I think the Giants have the pieces, and the NFC East outside of the Cowboys is Washington hasn't looked spectacular like we thought they might. Their defense hasn't looked what we thought they were going to look, and the Eagles are just bad. But if there is a team that I think can make the leap out of those two teams, I would say the Giants.
Yeah, man, I'm gonna be honest. I watched Zach Wilson live. I was working the game, so we all know, got a little part-time over at MetLife. Seeing both of them play, I gotta be honest, I've actually been more impressed with Zach Wilson, especially him playing against like the Titans. I know the Titans don't have, they're not the pinnacle of defense, but this kid was making some legitimate plays, just extending plays out there. And was throwing some tough balls, man. I mean, the kid went 21 of 34, threw for almost 300 yards, had 2 touchdowns, and the one was an absolute dime on that right side of the field. I don't think I've ever seen a better pass in my life, to be honest with you. It's up there. But like we said, it was against the Titans. He's not really working with much. I mean, who's his best receiver? Denzel Mims. They didn't even want to play him the first game until the second half. So they just really need to figure out with the Jets. I'm not sold on Daniel Jones yet. He's having like little glimpses here and there, but the fact of the matter is my man still overthrows wide open passes, even when there's barely any pressure on him. Those wide receivers in New York are completely just injury prone. I mean, every time Shepard, you look at him the wrong way, he ends up with a concussion. He's out for a couple weeks, man. So I don't know. I think they're definitely, my bad, the dogs are going a little nuts right now. I think they're definitely better set for the Giants to complete like the rebuild. But I prefer Salah as a head coach, to be honest with you, over Judge right now. But at the same time, man, they just need to build the organizations better. I don't know if they like trade better. They need to draft a little better. They just need to get pieces all around. So I think both of them, it's a coin flip to see who's going to go and make the faster step.
Yeah, I'm looking at next week's schedule. I think the Jets play the Falcons, and then the Giants play your Cowboys, man. So
I've read the throw in by the Giants. Did you see Kadarius Toney? That guy has got talent. We were knocking the Giants because they took a receiver, but
you were knocking him.
Well, not him. I know. I meant the Giants picking him.
No, I'm saying like people were knocking this kid for not doing much, too fast. But dude, I mean, he's dealing with Jones as a quarterback.
He's explosive. He caught a pass. He made, I think, 7 guys miss. It was just boom, 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 and he just ended up getting the edge, and he got an extra like 15 yards. And I was like, whoa! If he can make plays like that at the top level, this guy's gonna be scary. You add them along with Galladay as well. You got Slayton as well, and then you said Shepard and Ingram. But like, they got the weapons, man. They build that offensive line a little bit around Daniel Jones, and that defense continues to be what it is. I mean, come on. I think the Giants are almost they got to be close. Maybe not this year, but they got to be close.
I think it all depends on Daniel Jones taking the step. And let's be honest, I think right now it's easier to turn it around playing in the NFC East than it is playing over in the AFC with New England and the Bills especially, so there's a little more competition in division there. So yeah, I probably like the Giants going better. I just wouldn't like to see it because I am a Cowboys fan.
Yeah, so like speaking of Mac Jones, how'd y'all feel about that Mac Jones or Patriots and Tom Brady, man? Like that game, like y'all enjoy it? Like I think for me, like watching it, like when I saw Tom Brady walk at the tunnel, like the tunnel, he didn't seem phased, man. Like any other quarterback, he would be nervous, butterflies in the stomach. But he came in there like, I mean, that was his home for like what 20 plus years, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I mean, he was very composed. I mean, it was a rainy game. Mac Jones, he didn't have a terrible game either, but like they almost won by a field goal. But they missed that field goal. But like, how'd y'all think about that? I guess so. Anthony can go first, man.
You say he looked composed, Brady, but he didn't really play well.
Right,
being honest,
he did. Well,
he did not look great.
Right, I'm talking about like the beginning of the game, like pregame, he's very calm and collected.
I was looking at the splits. He also was missing Gronk too, and Gronk is what was it, punctured lung or something like that. It's like something crazy. But like you look at his splits in the last, I think it was like 5 or 6 seasons. His splits without Gronk and his splits with Gronk, they're completely different like numbers. Like he's way better with Gronk, and now with Gronk out of that offense, they didn't look great. I mean, I think they gotta involve the running backs a little bit more. You got Fournette and you got Ronald Jones. I think Ronald Jones is being completely left out of that offense, and I don't know why. I mean, you got Godwin. Evans hasn't really been seeing as many targets as Godwin and AB have, but I think you got to involve all your pieces. You can't just choose one or two. You got a lot of pieces in the offense. I think Brady can definitely be like he's Brady. I mean, he can definitely turn that team around, of course. And the Bucs defense as well. I mean, they haven't been as advertised either. I mean, they've been letting up a lot of yardage. I think they're in the bottom half of the league in yardage, and they were supposed to be the best defense in football because they got all their pieces back. So, I mean, the Bucs didn't look great. I think Mac Jones looked phenomenal. I mean, he threw a pick, I think, and two touchdowns. I think he looked very poised in that pocket, even with Shaq Barrett and Shaq Barrett coming down on him. I think on the you got Damian Harris, you got Jacoby Myers, and the defense. Matt Judon looked great. I mean, as a Ravens fan, it's good to see Matt Judon doing what he does, but he looked great, and I think really the Patriots defense is going to get a lot better in the coming weeks. Mazz, what do you think?
Dogs, I'm going to be honest with you. Bill Belichick proved to me and the world and the entire league I did not need Tom Brady to be successful. I took the greatest quarterback of all time, and I was dissecting him. If I had a little more talent, maybe I actually beat him. But he called a phenomenal game. He knew Brady's tendencies and was doing everything to rattle him. Brady did not play a great game. I will say this, Brady could have closed that game even sooner. My man AB dropped 3 perfectly thrown balls, lost the one in the lights on the right side, dropped the 2 in the end zone, and they were the best throws I think Tom Brady might have ever thrown. We always criticize Brady and the Patriots for just because of the system, him playing in that system of he's always throwing these little dink passes, screens, he's not like Aaron Rodgers throwing the Hail Marys and stuff, but Brady proved that, he might be old, man, but he still got it in him. Just give him time. But Belichick, I cannot say enough how well this guy is. We're talking about the GOAT. It's not even close at this point. That Patriots team had no business hanging around as long as they did against Tampa Bay with the talent that they're dealing with. The defense, as you said, Anthony, definitely needs to step up. I was like everybody else, man. I was high on them. They got every name in the book. They just picked up Richard Sherman, for crying out loud, who's been regressing, but still, like, adding him to that depth is insane. They've had a little injuries in the secondary, but man, for what they're working with in New England, Bill Belichick is still proven day in and day out. I'm the best at this, and if I can just get some talent here, I'll win another one.
Sorry, man. It's crazy how you said that because we talked about the same stuff on the last podcast. How we previewed that game, and you said what you just said. Like you said that this game will prove to me that Bill Belichick is the best coach. And look what happened, man. They kind of okay, it was a rainy game, but that's not both sides had the ball. So but yeah, you're right. Like, is this proof that Bill Belichick doesn't need a Tom Brady to be a successful team? And Matt Jones, he was looking pretty good, in the pocket. Had a few missed calls, missed plays, but he's still rookie. He can fix his mistakes. But yeah, Anthony had a point. Like their defense, Bucs defense, I had them on my fantasy. Because I thought they were gonna be number 1 defense, man. And they're making me lose games, man. Because when it comes down to it, that defense wins games, man. I should have put my board on defense, man, because they're doing good. But, yeah.
So we ready to switch gears basketball?
Yeah,
actually,
for sure.
Let's talk about that Yankee game, man.
Oh, you want to talk about?
Do we have to?
Yeah, I was saying we really have to.
Man,
I'm trying to put that game in the rear view because now it's football season, But as a
Well,
Yankees
no,
fan, you don't want to
let's
talk about it anymore.
but like let's not talk about the game, but let's talk about like what we need to do to like be better. First, people say we should get rid of Boone.
I agree.
Start with a manager. I mean, obviously, Aaron Judge wants to stay long term. We need
Aaron
to keep
Judge just
him.
said the other day he wants to finish his career as a Yankee. I mean,
Right,
what
and
more do you
and
want?
we need him back too.
Okay.
But like, what do you? So, Brandon, you're a Yankee fan, right?
Die hard.
So we're all Yankee fans.
The
So like,
baseball season ended the second that they went out. I don't care who wins anymore. It doesn't matter. There's no excuses. The only team that we should have even had a glimpse of losing to was the Dodgers. Nobody else should be competing with us. I cannot stand this right now. I'm sorry, man. I love the Yankees so much. And just every year, no team knows how to break my heart like the Yankees. Because in North American sports, everybody else has a salary cap. Baseball doesn't have a salary cap. You can spend whatever the hell you want. It absolutely kills me that Garrett Cole makes about $7 million more than the entire Tampa Rays franchise, for crying out loud. Are you kidding me? We need to put our money in better places. Boone needs to go. I don't even know why we got rid of Girardi. Can somebody please tell me why we got rid of Girardi when he took that little team as far into the playoffs as it went and had no business being there? And it's like, oh, he's not a yes man. He's got to go. This is absolutely ridiculous. I cannot believe they lost again. The way that they lost. F Fenway Park. I'm telling you that right now, man. That park, if it wasn't as historical, we wouldn't be revering it. If that was a brand new stadium, we'd be saying that this is the worst stadium in baseball. Like, that wall is only there because it's so short out there in the field, and it protects them from getting home runs. Stanton had two bombs that in any other park are out of there, for crying out loud. They get saved by the wall. And this team, man, injuries. Where's LeMahieu when you need him? We bring it, and then just underperformance. You got Joey Gallo's hitting 35 home runs, but he's hitting 200. Can anybody please get on base? Because every time these guys hit a home run, Judge, Stanton, Gallo, nobody's on base, for crying out loud. So the Yankees got problems all over the place. They need better pitching. Garrett Cole should be given money back for the way that he performed in that game, for crying out loud. And it's just, there's holes all over the place. I can't stand everybody on this team whose names are Aaron Judge and Giancarlo Stanton right now, and Anthony Rizzo. But outside of that, everybody just gives me agita, and I can't stand it. I hate baseball because the Yankees make me hate myself.
So how do y'all feel about that play? What was it, Phil Nevin, who the third base coach, who I mean, so I was listening to the game, like, so the announcer said like Aaron Judge had him beat, but that was a good throw. So like, what do y'all think?
It was a perfect relay, but with one out, you don't send him.
Yeah, you don't. I don't. I feel like you that third.
You have to play it with two outs. It's a different story because you got to salvage a run because you don't know if the next guy's going to get a hit. But with one out, you can't send him. You got two batters coming up. You got to take your chances with someone maybe trying to get a single or sack fly or something. But
I think that got me pissed was like Brandon's right. Like, those two good hits by Stanton, like at our stadium, they would have been home. They would have been bombs, and like they were perfect. Well, I think one of the announcers on the Boston side, I saw like he thought it was a home run, but it wasn't. Like,
that was John Sterling.
John Sterling. That's the Yankees guy, So.
But we had. I mean, the only player that really showed up was Rizzo toward the end of the game, and Carlos two hits. But I felt like the game was over when Sander Bogarts hit that first home run, man, because they weren't coming back, man. Like, I mean, I hate to say it, but I mean, like, that's where the turning points were, and like the only way they could have got a home run is in the short field in right field, where it's like a little freaking 2 foot wall or 3 foot wall. But I don't know. So so as Yankees fans, I hate to say this question, like, where do we go? Because we have like good pitchers, but like what do you see as like player wise? What do we need other than like Aaron Judge and Stanton? Like, who do we need? Like,
first order of business, Boone's gone, Marcus Tim's gone, hitting coach gone.
Okay.
Don't even want to see him ever again. Cashman's got to be on a shorter leash. Howe gives him too much power. I think Cashman's got to be on shoulders. We always say Cashman, Cash God. He's the best GM in baseball. What has he done? He's won one World Series. He's won those other, 3 in the early 90s, but those weren't his teams. Those were the teams from the previous GM. He didn't construct those teams. They were already built for him. So he really didn't win those championships. All he won was 09. So he hasn't done anything in 12, 13 years almost. I think he's got to be on a little bit of a shorter leash. Now addressing the lineup. You got to re-sign Judge. Giancarlo's coming back, which is good. I think you have to re-sign Rizzo. LeMahieu's coming back. He's got to be better. I don't know where you put Torres in this offense. Well, Torres, he's been terrible. I mean, I've started to really dislike Gleyber Torres. And I liked him when he first came up. He was spunky. He was young. He hit for power. He hit for singles. He hit for a good average. The power numbers have gone away because he's trying to hit home runs. And that's all on Marcus Timms. That's why I want him gone. But Gleyber, once he shortened his swing up in the playoffs in the last week of the season, he was hitting singles everywhere. He's got the talent. It's just that the Yankees are terrible at coaching. And it's got to change. And I think it's because Aaron Boone takes all his players out for ice cream after the game. He gives them a bag of chips. He gives them the orange slices. He says, "Oh, you guys did a good job." We don't need that. Like Brandon said, we need a Joe Girardi, a guy who can come in, fire up this dugout, because clearly that isn't working with the holding their hands. I think we need to go out and probably grab a shortstop in free agency. I'm a big proponent of Marcus Semien, Blue Jays second baseman. He hit for the most home runs for second baseman in a single season in MLB history. I'm not a proponent of Story. Please no Trevor Story, please. And please no Carlos Correa. I don't want a cheating guy on my Yankees, except for maybe Garrett Cole.
Dude, I don't care about the cheating. Listen, I'll take anybody at this point. I'm opening up the doors.
You cared when the Astros got found out.
Dude, I cared. Listen, we were in the same class together. I was going off, how dare they? But at this point, I'll take whoever is going to lead us back to the promised land. Yes, say whatever you want about me. I'm taking it. I'm sick of the struggles. The fact that we haven't seen, what was the last championship? 09, where freaking Matsui was the MVP for crying out loud.
I was a second grader.
Dude, I was at that Yankee parade. That was lit. But man, my first firing, it's not even Boone. Whoever the hell the athletic trainer is, gone. So many guys. Stanton, injured forever. Judge, injured forever. LeMahieu, missing them in the biggest game of the season, for crying out loud. It's the trainer's gone. Boone, the only time I've ever loved Boone was that whole "my guys are savages in the box" rant. Other than that, Boone, what have you done? You've been sitting there, you're looking stupid, chewing that stupid bubble gum and blowing these little sissy bubbles in the middle of the game, looking like you have no clue what you're doing. You don't have any clue what you're doing, for crying out loud. And I'm just so sick of it, man. I'm sick of dealing with the hard losses. And it's just these are games where we should be competing. We bring in Garrett Cole. Garrett Cole said in his press conference when they first brought him in, the one thing he's looking forward to are those rival games against the Red Sox and to have big moments and to extend his legacy. Well, you got the chance, big fella, and then you got pulled. I don't even think he made it past the third inning. Correct me if I'm wrong, Ant. But yeah. So, it's unbelievable, man, that we spend this much money for guys just to, not show up. I don't know what we need. I think Torres needs to play second, that's for sure, because he can actually play defense again. I don't know what it is. You put him on the other side of the bag and the kid just freezes, for crying out loud. But him playing at second seems to work out. And I know they're two completely different positions, but you would think that he'd have some success. It's just moving over a couple of feet, but apparently not. LeMahieu at third is completely fine with me. Listen, call me crazy, Voit or Shella. You package them. Get me a center fielder. Get me a shortstop. One or the other. I want one this year. And for crying out loud, whoever the manager is, if Mike Stanton is not playing both ways, you're an idiot and your mama don't love you. Because there's a clear correlation. I'm not an athletic trainer, but there's a clear correlation that my man is staying warmed up during the entire game by playing the outfield and then coming to hit. Whenever he doesn't do that for long periods of time, he ends up pulling something. I don't know if there's just too much muscle. He's got to be warmed up. So, and for crying out loud, go get some pitching for crying out loud. Dare I say, where's Tanaka when we need him? This is it's unbelievable to me, man. We just keep on doing the wrong things. I'm sick of seeing these guys that are only hitting for home runs. Congratulations. We got Judge. We got Stanton. Stop going for the home run, guys. Get me guys that can get on base for crying out loud. And bring in a shortstop, bring in pitching, and bring in a center fielder. You don't need all of them in one off season, but that's what we should be looking at. Because quite frankly, I'm sick of looking at Brett Gardner's.
Oh yeah,
I love Gardy.
I was about to say,
Gardy.
Please, for the love of God, Gardner's got to go.
I love Gardy, dude, but it's time.
I
love him, but it's time.
He did a twirl, He swung a ball and did a twist, man. But like y'all realize we have Greg Allen, we have Estevan Florial, we got some young talent on the bench. We got Andrew Velasquez, nice stud, Bronx native. So I mean, I don't know, man. Like I feel like Boone's gotta go, but I don't know who would be the substitute. I don't know, maybe someone in house or someone on. I don't know. I don't know.
Not in house. Keep it moving. I'm sick of these yes men.
Soho. Give me Luis Soho, or I'd like maybe a Tino Martinez.
Anybody with balls. How about that? Anybody with balls.
Let me rephrase that. Someone with coaching experience. Not Aaron Boone, who was an ESPN broadcaster, and they go, "Oh, he hit a home run for us back in 2003 to send us to the World Series." That's just enough qualifications to give you a manager job. That's like
it's because he was a yes man. They were sick of putting up with the headaches that Girardi's challenging them at every step because it's like, this is what we want to see. But he's like, bro, this is not what we need right now. Like, this is what we're going to do. And they quite frankly were like, I think the only reason why Girardi got fired was because he wasn't a yes man. And they were like, we want full control. This is what we want to see. Boone, listen, I don't hate you, but you got to go. You're not the guy for the job. I'm sorry. Unless you're going to have balls, man, like take control of the team. I'm sick of this. Like, it's great that you defend your guys, but you got to get on them when they're messing up. This is too much hand holding. The baby bombers are no longer the baby bombers. They're grown men right now. Treat them such, man. Gary Sanchez, we need a catcher too. We need a catcher, man. Gary wasn't awful, but like we need better, man. It's something. That's fine. That's fine.
You said gone, Anthony? I mean, I saw an article saying
Sanchez has been given too many chances. Too many. I mean, how many years do we have to go? Is Gary Sanchez going to be Gary Sanchez again? Is Gary Sanchez going to be Gary Sanchez again? He's not going to be Gary Sanchez again. That's the short answer. Let's not waste another 3 more years trying to figure this out until he eventually retires.
Dude, where was Sanchez?
He's a great guy. I actually have his autographed baseball in my room. I was in spring training and I got a ball sign. He stayed inside of every kid's autograph. That's how good of a guy he is. Problem is, he can't hit. So,
but they don't win championships, man. Signing ball.
Yo, but where was Gary Sanchez against the Red Sox, man? Why the hell was Higashioka even out there?
Because I think
he's Garrett Cole's guy. Are you kidding me, dude? This is the biggest game of the freaking season. You get the best guy at each position if they're available. I don't care who's more comfortable with who. Get the best talent out there. Get something happening. This is just ridiculous. This is what I'm talking about, babying guys. Unbelievable. And even still, that's just another mark going against Cole. Cole, we even had your favorite catcher out there. Are you kidding me? They did everything that you asked. Fat contract. Your guys freaking starting in the biggest game of the season. What more do you want? What more do you need to be successful? Gonna win the Cy Young, I'm sure.
I'm a Robbie Ray.
It's close, but he's in the running, and I wouldn't be surprised if he wins it. And then you just choke in the biggest game. You should be giving money back, man. Unbelievable. Yankees, get it together.
Here's the thing. I know Cole pitched bad, but I still think he's worth the money. And a lot. I'm unpopular because of that. I think he was a Cy Young, like you said, a candidate throughout the year. I think the reason why he hasn't pitched well in his last 6 starts is because he has a little bit of a lingering hamstring injury, and I think if he just wanted to say, Boone, I'm clearly injured, I'm not pitching well, pulled me out of this game. I think that would have helped the team a lot because just let him get healthy. But I get it. He's the ace. He's got to go out. And then there would have been questions like, why isn't Cole pitching? Where's Cole? Where's Cole? But, like, he's going to do more harm than good if he's out there injured.
Hey, I mean, I will give it to Boone. He brought in that backup pitcher at a solid time.
Clay Holmes, that kid's phenomenal, man.
Hey.
He was terrible in Pittsburgh. Comes to New York, and he's probably the top 3 reliever right now, along with Loizaga and maybe, like, I don't know, like, who else is in there?
Hey, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Cole came out of Pittsburgh before he ended up in Houston, right?
Yeah. Pittsburgh always just throws away great talent.
Just giving away great talent. But, I mean, guys leave Pittsburgh and become great, I guess. You know, unlike Miami, where guys are great in Miami and then Miami trades them away and doesn't do anything to bring anything else in. So, hilarious to me.
I think if we would have won the game and we would have faced the Rays, you think we'd have had a shot against the Rays?
No.
You know what? If I'm the Yankees, I'm throwing money at anybody in the Rays organization that wants to jump ship, if that's even legal.
And you know what's going to happen? They're going to be terrible.
Ranger, man. I want him.
They're going to be awful. You throw any money at anyone, if you're the Yankees, they come in and they bat 210. Joey Gallo gets traded here. Joey Gallo was having a career year. He comes over here and he strikes out 4 times a game.
I'm not talking players. I'm talking their staff, man. Anybody that I can pick from that staff, those guys are doing so much more with the most frugal ownership in baseball. They don't want to spend money, but they get results. If I'm the Yankees, anybody that I can get from that staff, get them to New York. Let's figure it out. Bring it back to greatness. That's my mic drop on the Yankees, fellas.
Let's just continue with baseball then. If we want to just playoff previews now. I mean, we're 1 day in after last night. Houston's now up 2-0 after the win today, and I think Boston, Tampa are playing right now in Game 2. Tampa's got a 1-0 lead. Do we have a score check on that?
Yeah, let me a second.
Working on it, fellas.
Red Sox are up 8-5 in the bottom of the 5th. So, and then the NLDS started today with the Brewers and I believe the Braves. And what's the score right now in that game? I think Brewers beat the Braves 2-1, and then Dodgers play the Giants later. So what are we thinking of the baseball playoffs in the upcoming couple days? Who do you think we got?
I hate this freaking question because I like Boston, man.
You like
Boston? Out of every team that's
Boston. No, not the Boston. Not Boston to win it, but Boston to beat the Rays, and then I like the Dodgers.
Out of all those things, I think the Dodgers have the best chance. The Giants definitely could give them a run for their money. I think the Giants have way overperformed this year. I mean, they got Posey, they got Brandon Crawford. What's going on with Brandon Crawford? I don't know why he's suddenly become a top 10 hitter in baseball. I mean, you got Chris Bryant now there. Adam Gosman's been a very good pitcher for them. I think they got the pieces to maybe overthrow the Dodgers, but I mean, the Dodgers just got so much talent. Just year in and year out. I don't know how they get these guys. They have Scherzer, Trey Turner, they got the deadline. I mean, Muncy, Bellinger. I mean, he had a terrible year, but he's getting there. Chris Taylor, Mookie Betts, Chris Taylor, Will Smith, Justin Turner. I mean, and then you got Kershaw. I mean, he's hurt, I think, but he might be able to come back. I don't know yet. Walker Buehler, almost a Cy Young candidate this year.
Corey Seager, right?
Corey Seager.
Bauer's sitting on their bench. They won't even use him.
No, Bauer's not. He's got that whole situation going on.
No, that's what I'm saying. He's not.
He probably won't come back.
But that's a guy. That is a guy. Like, listen, I understand the situation, but what I'm trying to say is that's a guy of quality talent that they're not even using right now. They kind of can't, but you know what I mean? Like, they're still doing. They have so much depth on that team. They're what the Yankees should be. They're what the Yankees should be.
The Yankees should outspend LA. The Yankees are the second most money. They have the second most money in North American sport. I think in sports in general, in the entire world. I think it's Manchester United and then the Yankees.
Nah. City spends the most
No, not spend the most. I meant makes the most.
Oh, makes the most.
I think it's Man United, then the Yankees.
I know I saw a thing where the Cowboys are the most profitable franchise in North America. Number 2 is the Yankees.
Swear to God. That makes sense. That does
Swear
make
to
sense.
God.
That makes
But
sense.
here's the thing about the Yankees, man. The Yankees as a culture, you go to other countries, you see Yankees apparel. People don't even watch baseball that much in other countries outside of like Japan. Like this is the cultural phenomenon of the Yankees had the history steeped in it, the major market that they're the second most profitable team in North America. We should absolutely be outspending the Dodgers. We should be getting the big names. We should basically be where the Dodgers are, and for whatever reason we're not. But fellas, it's correct me if I'm wrong, but I just saw today that this is the first time that the Giants and Dodgers are playing each other.
Yeah, that's crazy, right?
What? How is
it's been
that?
120 years.
That's what I'm talking about.
The Yankees and Red Sox have played at least 15 times in that time.
And they got a rivalry going on. Like I'm not saying it's necessarily Boston and
LA and San Francisco.
Yeah, the Dodgers.
They got one of the biggest rivalries in baseball.
That's what I'm saying. It's basically
Cardinals, Cubs probably after Yankees, Red Sox.
That's what I'm saying.
Giants, Dodgers.
It's not the Yankees, Red Sox, but it's the Yankees, Red Sox of the West Coast for crying out loud.
Well, they used to play in New York together. They were the New York Giants and the Brooklyn Dodgers.
Yeah, how they never played each other. How they never played each other.
It's gonna make some great baseball. It's gonna make for some great baseball
for sure. I think for me, I think the winner of that series takes it all. Obviously you got Houston, you can't count out.
I like Milwaukee.
Fair.
I think Milwaukee's got the greater. I think them and the Dodgers have arguably the two best pitching staffs in baseball. I mean, you've got Corbin Burns in Milwaukee, Freddie Peralta. He's sort of fallen off a little bit, but I really do think if he can get it together, that rotation is by far one of the best. I mean, Devin Williams broke his hand in the bullpen. That was just stupid. One of the stupidest things I've ever heard. Brandon Woodruff's still there. I mean, you look at this Brewers pitching staff, and then you add in like Yelich, Rowdy Tellez, Willie Adames had a career year. I mean, the Brewers definitely could have a shot at it. If I had to pick anyone that I wanted to win, like as a fan, I'm rooting for, it's definitely Milwaukee because I can't stand. And 3 of the 4 teams in the American League, I just cannot stand. I hope Chicago can somehow do something against Houston, but that's not looking like it's a possibility. But in the National League, you got the Dodgers, who I just don't want to win again because why would you want them to win? I mean, San Fran's fine. I wouldn't mind San Fran winning at all, and I wouldn't mind Atlanta winning at all. But like, if I had to root for a team, I'd rather root for the Brewers because they don't have a title in their team's history. I don't think they've only made 1 or 2 World Series. They made one in 2008. I think that's when CeCe was there, and he had one of the greatest pitching postseasons ever. That was like, if you ever look back and watch some film of that CeCe year when he just ran through everyone in the postseason, and I think he lost to I don't remember who he lost to in the World Series that year. It might have been Boston, or it might have been
Yeah,
I don't remember.
I gotta look back on that. Yeah, but I mean, like that game last night, I think Chris Taylor had that walk off, and that was clutch, man. To win that game. Huh?
I said that was a great ending to that game. I didn't watch it. I was paying attention to the football game. I think that was that Monday night. I was watching Chargers Raiders. I think was it. What day was that?
Chargers, yeah.
Yeah.
But let's end the show with some NBA, man, and then we'll close up the show. We're almost up to an hour, so yeah, let's right over some NBA, man. So same storylines. The Kyrie, Ben Simmons doesn't have a hit home yet. So fellas, man, like, what do y'all think, man? Like with the whole, the whole Kyrie situation. I know we talked about that like recently, Brandon.
The owner just called him out. The owner over in Brooklyn just called him out. My dog's over here crying because he just heard Kyrie Irving's not getting vaccinated again. Yeah, I know, boy. I feel you. But fellas, it's absolutely ridiculous at this point. KD's even a little disappointed. He thought he would have had a change of heart. He knows he's just got to let Kyrie do his own thing. But man, I don't know. Kyrie's a headache. Ben Simmons it just came out and was like saying that he's offended or like whatever. He can't believe that they're actually gonna enforce the fines on him for missing practice. I don't know what these two guys are thinking right now, but I'm just so sick of talking about it. I'm so glad that the preseason has popped off, and I don't pay much attention to preseason. I don't put too much stock in it, but hey, man, if they're not going to be healthy, I'll keep drilling it. The Lakers, as long as they're healthy, it's their championship to win, especially with your boy Kyrie not showing up because they do not have great depth in Brooklyn.
Brooklyn doesn't have great depth? Is that what
Doesn't
you
have
said?
great depth. Doesn't have great depth.
Are you kidding me? They have the most depth out of any team in basketball right now.
Heck out of here. The most depth out of any team. What are you working with?
Patty Mills.
You
You got Patty Mills. Joe Harris. You got Paul Mills.
Starting lineup, Joe Harris. Where's your depth?
LaMarcus Aldridge. Paul Mills.
He's got a heart condition.
He's playing.
He's got a heart condition.
He's playing basketball this year.
That's fine, but it's not going to be the same. He's coming off of that. That's going to be. It's going to be a little streaky. Blake Griffin. Great Blake is half of what he used to be, for crying out loud. You brought in Patty Mills.
Forgot about Nick Claxton,
dude.
the defensive monster. He's
defensive
awesome.
monster, dude. Nick Claxton. Is he better than Dwight Howard? No. Could he be eventually? Probably not, because Dwight Howard's already certified Hall of Famer. Hall of Famer Dwight Howard. Hall of Famer. Okay, and then DeAndre Jordan's
I'm
been
gonna
looking
put my
all right.
clothes inside the Dwight Howard so you can wash my clothes with that washing machine.
Dude, you're insane right now.
I'm not
Dwight Howard just won a championship 2 years ago.
Facet.
Dwight Howard just won a championship being a defensive cornerstone for the Lakers. You're insane right now.
Yeah, that's
I know.
2 years ago now. 2 years.
Yeah, exactly. 2 years ago. Like, he'll be fine. He was solid in Philly. It wasn't his fault why they weren't losing championships. Granted, he's coming off the bench to get JoJo some rest, but they were playing great defense in Philly. Not his fault that they lost the championship. Completely on Ben Simmons, for crying out loud, for not even making it there. But dude, there's just too much depth with the Lakers. Their three are less of a headache than your three, for crying out loud. Let's be honest. There's less ego there. Russ is the only one you got to worry about, and he seems like he's going to be perfectly fine. The Lakers as a whole, hey, we're getting vaccinated. We're all in. Russ, this is your chance to get a championship. Melo, this might be your last year to get a championship. They're all in. They're doing exactly what they need. Bron is going to lead us to the promised land. Anthony Davis is probably going to be our best star of the freaking year. That tandem with him and Russ is going to be awesome. This is amazing. I remember a couple years back when Russ was still on OKC, Anthony Davis was down in New Orleans, and they were just like, both of them in a back-to-back weeks. The other one was just like, I'd really like to be a Laker one day. Russ is from California, so it made sense. Davis from Chicago. He said he loves. Whoa, Jesus, there goes the dog. My bad, fellas. But with the it's just insane, man. And the Lakers, the fact that they're finally here, it's their time to shine.
Yeah, I definitely agree, man. Like, being a basketball fan, I'm tired of seeing every day Kyrie. Like, it's either you freaking trade him. I don't know, man. It's just like like I'm on ESPN right now on the app. It's like Kyrie, Ben Simmons. Like, but like Brandon said, like, we have no headaches when it comes to, like, our big three, our core, with LeBron, AD, and Russ.
Give it time.
I mean, so you're a Brooklyn fan, right, Anthony?
I'm Brooklyn fan, yes.
So do you think Kyrie? Do you think he's going to eventually get vaccinated, or do you think he's not going to?
I don't think so. And if he doesn't, I don't see him. Why would we play him in the away games? Just don't play him at all. I think Harden, Durant are just perfect by themselves. We don't need Kyrie. Kyrie's a third scoring option on that team. So
you definitely need Kyrie if you want to win a championship. There's not enough talent, as we said, especially. And here's the thing with him not being vaccinated. I said it a couple shows ago, possibly last show. You can't play in California if you're not vaccinated. What are they going to do in the finals when it's them and the Lakers? He can't even play in the games. Can't even play in his home games because you're in New York. You got to be vaccinated too. I don't know what they're doing. If he's not going to get vaccinated, it's time to ship him. But I don't even know what you're going to get for him because the stock is plummeting each day he doesn't get vaccinated and is not playing, for crying out loud. And somebody's going to end up with a tremendous player who kind of needs to be catered to a little bit. But if it's in the right market, they'll be fine. But they ain't winning the championship if all you got is Kyrie Irving.
Well, Kyrie, actually, they just announced today that he's allowed to practice in the practice facility now in Brooklyn. So,
What does it matter, though? He can't
yeah,
play the home game.
so yeah, that's why I said, like, he's allowed to practice in their practice facility, but he can't play in the games.
It doesn't, listen.
How much sense does that make?
I don't know what they're doing. You know, they got to figure out something. You got to get these guys playing, for crying out loud. I don't want to force Kyrie to take the vaccine, but if I'm the Brooklyn Nets owner and I have a say in it, hey, buddy, it's either you're taking this and you're actually going to do your job,
or you don't play your salary,
or you're no, I'm not paying the salary. That's without a question. They already said they're not doing that. You're gone because this is the year that we're going for. The Lakers' depth. I mean, listen, Trevor Ariza. No, he's out for a bit, but still 3-and-D, amazing. All right. He's not Kevin Durant or anything. He's not a giant star, but he's a solid bench guy. And we've seen him come through for the Lakers in years past. And this guy has a great shot and plays defense still. Malik Monk, either coming off the bench or whether he's going to be starting. That kid's got some serious talent, and they got him for the low at the they signed him for a minimum. Kendrick Nunn can pop off for 20 points at any time. We've seen the kid down in Miami's been quality. Rondo off the bench as your third option at point guard is still quality. He's slowing down a little bit, but the smarts are there more than ever. Wayne Ellington just shot 41% from three. There's your spacing for it. Not to mention DeAndre Jordan's looking rejuvenated playing with the Lakers. He's buying in because he wants a championship too. Dwight Howard, you already know he's bought in when LeBron's there because, hey, I'm not what I used to be. I'm not going to be a headache. How are you going to compete with this when you don't have Kyrie as an option? You haven't traded him yet. You got to make a move if you want to compete with this depth because Patty Mills ain't enough. Nicholas Claxton ain't enough. And the rest of the boys, I mean, you look at it, Russ, LeBron, AD versus Harden and KD, there's a clear advantage, and it's going to the West Coast if things are right now as they seem. You know, who's the third best player? Joe Harris? The kid cracked under pressure when he's a second or third option because teams just clamp him. We saw it against Milwaukee. Good luck in Brooklyn, and I don't know what you guys are going to do.
Yeah, so get ready.
I'll pull money on that, dog. It ain't happening if they're.
I'm not putting money on it because I'm not gambling.
Because you don't believe in it, you know.
I don't gamble.
Listen.
I don't gamble.
Fair enough.
I'm not a degenerate.
I'm not a degenerate. I might be, but the fact of the matter is, the Brooklyn Nets need to figure it out. Otherwise, they're not even going to come out of the East, for crying out loud. You know. I'm telling you right now, I'm kind of liking Miami a little bit. I'm not saying they're going to come out of the East.
No, I will get it. Is the East better than the West this year?
Oh, I think it's closer than ever. Not yet.
Yeah.
Though. Not yet. Because listen, the Warriors just are getting Klay Thompson back in December. Depending on Klay, we already know this guy, when healthy, is the second best shooting guard in the NBA. The second best shooter possibly of all time. Definitely the second best shooter in the NBA. Talk about 3-and-D perfection. It's a healthy Klay Thompson. That's exactly what it looks like. Let's be honest, man. We got some serious talent. Denver is getting Jamal Murray back. They're gonna be tough. Utah. I don't like Utah, man. That was the weakest number one seed. I think Dan Snyder is
Phoenix too.
Quinn Snyder. My bad.
Western Conference champs.
Yeah. Hey, like I said, Quinn Snyder is not a good coach to me. We already saw how he just left Gobert out on the island to get torn up by the Clippers. The Clippers still are a decent team, man. You got to watch out for them. The Mavs, the Grizzlies.
I'm not all in the Mavs.
I'm big on Luka, man. That kid.
I love Luka. Don't get me wrong, but I just don't think they're.
I mean, listen. At the end of the day, we're looking across the other side. Brooklyn. Miami coming off a really bad season.
Milwaukee.
I expect them to be dogs, for crying out loud.
Milwaukee. Chicago looking better.
Dude, Chicago. Oh my God. I'm gonna be honest with you, fellas. For me, there's three teams to pay attention to. Not because they have the best chance of winning, but I'm most excited to see play out. First and foremost, as we all know, it's the Lakers. I think we all want to know, can Russell, LeBron, and Anthony Davis play together? I think the whole league wants to know whether you hate them or not. For me, the second team I'm really curious in, I think might be the New York Knicks. They brought in Kemba. They brought in Fournier. I think they're going to be really exciting. They still got Randall. These are legitimate help that we've been talking that they needed to get Randall around there. So, I mean, I guess you move RJ down to the 3. I think it's going to be really exciting. I think we're going to see Kemba play some dog defense. Evan Fournier is going to be playing dog defense because Tibbs is known to get that out of his guys. The third team, Chicago. Oh, my God. I love it, man. I think the defense needs to step up. Lonzo's a lockdown defender. Say what you want about the guy. That kid is free throws and a consistent shot away, which we already seen him improve on the shot. But if he starts scoring, good luck stopping him because that kid is Jason Kidd 2.0.
Then you got Zach LaVine's
option. Is a talent we don't talk about, just like Ja Morant because he's in a small market.
Chicago's not a small market.
What's up?
Chicago's not a small market.
No, I'm saying my bad. I meant to say
Chicago's more like the
absolutely
third biggest market.
My bad. I meant to say a smaller team success.
Yeah,
because let's be honest, dude, if Ja Morant and Zach LaVine are on winning teams, we're covering both of them all day. With the small market would be better. My bad. I had a little brain fart there, but I think this is the year that Zach LaVine gets his flowers potentially. DeMar DeRozan as honestly, you're probably your fourth scoring option. Lonzo's going to be running the offense. Kobe White, dude. Nikola Vucevic is arguably he's got to be top 5 in offense centers. He's not the full package because the defense is lacking. We're talking about a dude who we don't talk about. He spaces the floor. He shoots a quality 3. He's solid on offense. If he can play better defense, Chicago's going to be a problem. Lonzo running that offense. And what are you most excited to see? What teams out of this NBA season?
I do like the Lakers. I will say I'm very excited about Los Angeles. I want to see how Milwaukee can defend the championship this year. I wonder what kind of moves have they really made this year? I mean, they've locked up Middleton and Antetokounmpo again. I mean, Lopez is coming back. I want to see if they can contend with all these new teams that are coming out in the East. I mean, Brooklyn's coming back to full strength. Miami, like you said, New York Knicks, Philly even though they're losing some pieces, they still got Embiid. So they're still not going to fully be down. Charlotte's going to be young and talented. I think. Pistons. Pistons are young. Give the Pistons some time. I think the Pistons. Who we got now? We got
Cade Cunningham, Jeremy Grant.
Jeremy Grant. I think the Eastern Conference is definitely I think maybe next year they're going to be better than the Western Conference. And then out of the West, I do like Denver. I think Michael Porter Jr. just got way too much money. That's way too much money.
Kid was worth it. You see how he stepped up. Dude, he's a quality third.
But do you think he's worth that much money right away?
I think right now, with how the current market is, I think you had to give him that because somebody was going to. So is he necessarily worth it? Not necessarily just standing alone, but guys are paying, teams are paying. They're not afraid to. We're dealing with 3-year contracts here. You know what I mean? 3 to 4 years, 5. Really, the most.
You're really buying in with him. That's the thing, though.
I don't think so, man, because it's a quicker turnaround in the NBA because it's not as much. There's not as much roster spots. If it doesn't work out, you tend. We already saw the Lakers bought out Luol Deng back in the day. I think they just got done paying him, for crying out loud. You get saved. You get saved out a little bit. You can break down the contract, and I think he's a solid third option there. He really stepped up. Unlike Joe Harris for the Brooklyn Nets, when he became the second option, Michael Porter Jr. shined, for crying out loud. So he's a younger guy. This was a guy that we were talking about. I don't know if y'all remember. They were talking about this kid being as good as Kevin Durant in college. The reason why he wasn't drafted high.
He only played 3 games, right?
No, he played more than 3 games.
He was hurt his freshman year.
Yeah. He had the back surgery and it set him back a lot. But we're seeing the glimpse from this kid. I'm not saying he's going to be Kevin Durant, but this kid is proving to us right now, hey, this is what I am. This is what I should have been the entire time. I had the back injury. I'm coming back stronger than ever. Denver can rely on me to step up in the big moment. And you can rely on me to play my role being that third option when Jamal Murray comes back. I'm just here to do my role and contribute to the greatness that is the Denver Nuggets organization. They're competing for the championship, man. They don't got enough pieces yet, but they're coming strong.
Yeah, they were talking about the heavy favorites, Brooklyn and the Lakers, but like you got to think about, there's another team that hasn't been mentioned is Charlotte Hornets with LaMelo Ball and LiAngelo Ball and Rozier.
Bridges.
They just cut LiAngelo.
Oh, for real? They did?
We grab over Gordon Hayward. So.
Yeah, I don't think LiAngelo made the squad. Which
I know he was balling in like
dude, he was balling in the summer league. I mean,
but, so I'm not sure if they found him. But I mean, like we Celtics with Tatum. I mean, I don't know who their point guard is.
The Celtics are gonna be great this year.
Dude, I completely forgot about the Celtics, but
I'm not in.
I don't hate them. Jason Tatum's a dog. Jaylen Brown.
They'll probably lock up a 7-8 seed like they did last season and get bounced in the first round. That's what I think the Celtics are gonna do.
Hey, the Celtics, it's a new era. They just got a new head coach, didn't they?
Yeah, because Brad went to the front office, right?
Yeah. Took over for Danny Ainge. Shout out Brad Stevens, because Danny Ainge is an absolute bum for what he did to my boy Isaiah Thomas. For crying out loud, will somebody please sign Isaiah Thomas? All right. How many of these teams?
Shout out to the Short Kings. Short Kings.
Dude, somebody please sign Isaiah Thomas. How many teams need shooting, need scoring off the bench, need a dog? We're talking about a guy who dropped damn near 29 points, for crying out loud, in a season. Look what he did for Boston. Boston should really have brought him back. I would love to see him somewhere.
They traded him for Kyrie, and then Kyrie left.
Dude, he was. Listen, people make that argument all the time. I think
Kyrie's better.
Isaiah Thomas. Yeah, I think Kyrie's a better talent for sure. I think you should have kept Isaiah Thomas for everything that he did. He comes off the best season you've seen from a Boston player in a while for those years. He fights through his sister's death, gives you everything, plays through the hip injury. He's done everything you've ever asked the brother to do. And how do you repay him? You ship him to Cleveland because we think Kyrie Irving's a better fit. Thanks for your service, guy. Out the door. It was disrespectful. How dare they did that to him? And let's be honest, Kyrie's a better talent, but he's not a better leader. And that team needed a leader at that time. So clearly, giving away Isaiah Thomas was not the move. Say what you want about the hip injury, but maybe he was a little better when he actually has his confidence, because y'all just did him dirty after he gave you your heart and soul. You should be ashamed of yourself, Boston. Danny Ainge, you POS for what you did to Isaiah Thomas. I can't believe this happened. And I can't believe nobody will give him a shot. He did completely fine in that little 10-game stretch that he did with New Orleans.
I mean, I feel bad for Tatum, because Tatum, he's a good talent, and now they're on a crappy team. They don't really have a point guard, really. I mean, they got Jaylen Brown still. But I mean, I'm looking next season, trade Tatum maybe to the Lakers, man.
Stop, dude. What are you talking about here, Big J? What do you mean? He ain't going to no Lakers. They're locking that kid up.
If there's any player in the NBA to build around, it's Jason Tatum.
If there's anybody who's not getting traded from Boston, it's Jason Tatum. Even for Luka, they love him up there. That kid is not going anywhere. That kid's gonna be in Boston for life. Nobody's really a lifer these days, but he'll be there as long as he wants to be.
That's a lifer right there.
What'd you say?
Dame Dollar, that's a lifer right there.
Dude, Dame Dollar needs to leave. Dame Dollar needs to leave. Dame Dollar needs to
loyalty.
Dame Dollar needs to get the Boston.
He's grinding it out with Portland. He's giving Portland fans what they deserve.
Dude, they don't deserve nothing.
Why?
Because let the guy go. He's never gonna win anything there. You're just holding him back.
The community, man.
Dude, that's fine.
You
let him
players
go.
like that. You don't need players that always.
The Lakers tried getting him.
Ring chase all the time. I think ring chasing is kind of corny.
Dude, the Lakers tried. Let him go do something, because I'm fine with ring chasing if you're not gonna bring in any help. Kevin Durant going to ring chase was I couldn't blame him for leaving, but the way that he went to the Warriors, I didn't like it. LeBron James going to Miami the first time, I couldn't necessarily blame it because they weren't bringing in anyone to help him.
They coordinated it.
You know, what was that?
I said they coordinated it.
Yeah, for sure. But and that was a little soft too. But him wanting to leave Cleveland, I can't blame it. You know, so it all depends on the situation. Dame has not had any help. His second best player at CJ McCollum has failed time and time again to give him the help that he needs. I think CJ's a quality player. I think CJ should be a third option on a team. And if CJ's your third option, you have a chance of winning a championship. CJ in the playoffs has a couple of brain farts, gets lost in the moment a little bit. I think it's time you need to blow up Portland and let Dame go somewhere, man. Let this man go compete. We saw the Lakers try making a move for him. I don't necessarily know what the assets that they were trying to send there. If Dame goes to the Lakers,
then I will say he is. Yeah, the Lakers are better than the Nets if Dame goes to the Lakers.
Absolutely, it's not even close at that point. They're already better than the Nets. If they have Dame Dollar, that spacing, that dog, it's unbelievable. We wouldn't even be talking about it because even if you just have Damian Lillard and Anthony Davis without LeBron, you're talking about potential championship. If you have Damian Lillard with LeBron James, you're talking championship. And we already know LeBron James and Anthony Davis already got it done for a championship by themselves. So yeah, if Dame Dollar would have came, that is overkill. Literally, if they would have lost it, I would have lost my mind as a Lakers fan. But you gotta let Dame go, fellas. Let him move on. I don't know where to, but you know. But Big J, you gotta stop trolling out here, man. You know damn well Jason Tatum ain't going nowhere. He's too young. Trae Young's another one. He ain't going nowhere. Luka's not going anywhere unless these guys want to leave because players got more power than ever. But these are guys.
Hey man, I was joking. I just want to see your reaction, man. Definitely Tatum is like a person to build your team around. You know, they need some better like assets to help him. You know, because he had he has Tatum. Brown. I think they got Enes Kanter still as a center. Tristan Thompson, I believe. If he didn't retire yet, I don't know.
They just brought in Al Horford. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, Al Horford. I forgot about that.
Yo, let me ask you this though, right? And I'll start with you, Jay, to give us our final segment for the night.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
If you're an NBA franchise and you had you're starting from scratch, you're an expansion team, and you can choose any kid to build around, what young player are you building around for your franchise for future to come?
I would have to say Trae Young, man. Trae Young or my boy Emmanuel Quickly, man, because they both can, they're both like playmakers. Definitely, I'll because Trae Young, he has the deep ball. He has that, that young killer mentality. Trae Young, that fire. He brings that, that desire to play, and he's young. Then I would go with probably a Jokic as a center. So yeah, and then my boy at the two, Quickly. That's my big three right there. Trae Young, Quickly, and Jokic, the Joker. Like I said before in other podcasts, man, we have once LeBron, KD, they hang their shoes up. We are in good hands with the league, man. With talent wise, that's why I'm excited to be a reporter, man, because I can't wait to be in that field, interviewing these star players, man. Because it's just like the NFL, man. Just young QBs, young receivers, young running backs, just like the NBA, young point guards, big men. You got Jalen Suggs. We got Cunningham coming in, and they didn't play their first game yet, and they're already studs. So yeah, I definitely would build my three around those three Quickly, Trae Young, and the Joker, man. And how about y'all, man? And we'll close it out.
Hey, Anthony, what do you think, man? If you had to choose one player to build around, who would it be?
Oh, wow, I mean, I think I'd probably choose Luca if I'm being honest. I think he's a five-tool player. He can play. He can do everything. He's got the shooting. He's got the driving, playmaking abilities. He can pass. He's probably one of the best passers in the league, and he's a lockdown defender. I mean, he is probably he's gonna be the best player in the league. Given 2 years, he's gonna have a couple MVPs under his belt. If I am starting any team, he's the first guy I'm picking up for sure.
Yeah, and I actually think I agree with you. I think there's only two options for me. I think I actually go with Luka Doncic. I think Cade Cunningham might be in that conversation in a
I even
little
throw Jason
bit.
Tatum in there too. I think Jason
That was
Tatum.
I was just about to say that. That's my one or two guys. I think you got to go with Luka number one, Jason Tatum as your second.
Mm.
If you can get either one of those guys, these are cornerstones. I prefer both of them over Trey Young. I like Trey Young. I think Trey Young's exciting. I want to know how he's gonna do with the new rule change since they just took away the launch angles and stuff and the BS fouls. So we'll see how he does this season. But I think two guys moving forward. And either one you can't go wrong with. Luka Doncic and Jason Tatum are definitely my picks. And as we said, Dallas and Boston, everybody else is going to be moved around before those two guys are even thought about, unless they request a trade. As we know, players have more power than ever before. But that's it, fellas. We back with another one. You know what it is.
What a
Luka
show!
Doncic, greatest. Jason Tatum, Luka Doncic. They're the keys to future greatness of the NBA, and those are our picks.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, good picks, y'all. Well, like Big Man said, another one is in the books. Season 2, episode 8, man. I just want to say thanks y'all for tuning in and staying with us, man. So yeah, like I'm Jordan, Big J, we got my boy Brandon, Big Mazz, and you got Anthony, man. Next episode we should have our friend Matt on the squad. So
Yeah, we'll be there. Fearsome foursome, core four.
Core four.
Core four.
Well, yeah, thanks for tuning in, man, and we'll be back with another one.
Another one.
Another one.
Another one.
Have a good night, fellas.
You have a good night.